Hey ho. Hello. Sorry, I'm reading something. I'm very frustrated. I just sort of discovered this the other day. Sorry, I put my old man glasses on. The thumbnail, the thumb that I put up for YouTube when I go live, started having this restream thing on there, which I use restream, but it used to not do that, and now it does, and I'm trying to understand. I was like, well, okay, I guess they changed it and I have to pay for it to get rid of that, which is it's a low blow. But then I'm reading this other thing where it's acting like I shouldn't get it because I'm using OBS. So I don't know, I'm gonna have to mess with it later. So I apologize. My thumb looks trashier than normal. What are you gonna do, you know? What are you gonna do? How's everyone? Say hello to the chat here. Scooter says I'm early in the day, I guess. I mean, I got up at 7, went for a jog, went for a jog, took down this tent that we had in the backyard for like the past month, doing some work on the house, staining wood and whatnots. This fucking camera's driving me nuts. Clean the bathroom because I'm house trained. And doing laundry right now. Gotta go to work tomorrow. Waiting to see what they give me. So I'm sure it's gonna be something good. Something good. Once again, last trip was out for 7 days, 6, I don't remember, 6 days. Every day on the East Coast, day before I go home, out to the West Coast, of course. Gotta get my West Coast rotation in. I love it. Which it shouldn't be a big deal, right? It's basically the same. A day is a day. I think it's just the emotional toll. I don't like airlining from the West Coast. Unless I get a good seat. I did get good seats. Hey ho from Apache 64D, H64D. There's an actual Apache in the room right now with us. I think I rode you once. Texas Fighter Gaming says let's go, but no exclamation marks. It's just kind of like let's go. Let's go. Guam, that is true. This is a Guam map. Wow, it goes a lot further than I thought. I've actually never looked until time now. I didn't realize it went that far. How far is that? That's 140 miles. 175, so it's 300, so 400-ish miles. Cool. Am I flying Corsairs? Yeah, I'm gonna do a little Corsairing. I joined a group that's all they do is Corsairs. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do that. So they asked me to join. I said sure. I've done exactly one thing with them. To be fair, I've only been with them for like a week, so. But it's fun. It's a fun little plane. Once you get your the hang of the engine, which is what we're gonna play around with today. I've turned the temperature up. Pretty high. It's 30 degrees Celsius. I think they run their missions around 32, and it definitely shows. Like you gotta get a hold of the engine temperature pretty quick in the old Corsair. It does lead to some frustration, but I've been playing with it. The thing that I have not mastered is the carrier. I did good in the carrier back when this first came out because the engine wasn't complete, but I can't land on it now. I can't turn into the groove or whatever at the end. I just can't manage it. I haven't practiced much either, so I'm sure I can do it. We just got to get there again. Got to retrain the brain. So anyway, Scooter says he should have taken a day off. That's all right. I'm not really in a play with other people mood. I'm just kind of trying to fill my day. I don't know what else to do today. House is well, there's contractors in my house doing stuff, but they've been here for weeks, so they know what they're doing. So I'm not gonna look over their shoulder. All right, let's do stuff.
I'm gonna send you up against the best.
Had some Fort Bragg helos circling my house last night. And it doesn't take much to rattle the walls. Fucking camera. I spent like 10 minutes trying to like get my camera straight. I gotta like completely like scrub OBS and just like start over. Everything's jacked up. Yeah, it was Kid Rock and Major Pete flying over. Fuck, don't even get me started on that shit. Absolute insanity. Ugh. Hate this planet. All right. Let's do a little fluging. A little chatting. Get caught up. It's been a while. Played a few games with Mover lately, which has been fun, but we have a different play style. I'll just call it that. We have a different play style. Hey, thanks for the subscription. I appreciate that. I can't play the same map over and over on that. Do it. It's old. I think he wants to master them or something. I don't know. We keep doing the same map. And I'm like, oh, let's do something else. She is. See if I can remember what buttons do what real quick. Okay, yes. That's interesting. I didn't think that would work. Oh, you know what? Let me open. Shit. All right, we got to. Well, not that. We gotta turn this on. We gotta set our throttle forward a little bit. We gotta turn on the old magnetos. We gotta turn the battery on. We gotta turn the fuel pump on. We gotta do some switcheroos. So you gotta bring the mixture up here once we get this thing cranked. We're gonna prime. Five to 15 seconds. I usually do like 8 or so. All right. Now we'll hit the starter. I'm gonna hold the starter. Push that mixture. There we go. And let's bring that throttle back a little bit. So one thing I learned is the battery will die at a low idle like this. So you gotta get it up to like over 1,000 RPMs to charge the battery, so. But we won't be here long. Alright, I should have set the brakes. I didn't. I had to grab those brakes there at the second. I don't know why that's not working. Oh, that's right. I changed that map. There we go. Alrighty. We did that. We did the thing. The engine is started. So temperatures we gotta watch. I'm gonna pop this so I can see this better. Guys are telling me this is basically useless, so I'm not even gonna mess with it. And this I'll put right there. Trims, let's see. It's like 6, and around 2-ish. I think they did fix the southbound carrier landing drama. That was silly. But I broke that story. Kind of a big deal. Oops, I went the wrong way. That would explain it. Robin Sage starts this week. I remember flying around seeing those guys out there navigating. Poor bastards. Team in their goggles, flopping around. Oh, I'm unarmed. I'm armed and dangerous. All right. While I'm thinking about it, I'm gonna change this to here, change that to there, I'll turn those on. I don't know the difference between these two. Is the newer engine overall more powerful or just more torque? I don't know how to answer that question because I don't know. I think it's less forgiving. Like, you really do have to manage. Like, I may burn this bad boy up. So we've got the oil cooler open. So that's what we're worried about here. You guys can see that. All right. And then I've got the cowl flaps. That's for this. We've got the intercooler, but we don't need to worry about that until we get up. I usually go into the for the supercharger around 8,000 feet ish, but you'll start to see your manifold start to kick off. I'm just gonna rev this up just a little bit. The battery. You know, we're ready to go. Really nothing for it. So let's make sure I didn't forget anything. So we'll take off, and then we'll adjust our. I'll go ahead and go mixture rich now. Take off, and then we'll adjust our RPMs once we get going. We're kind of full RPM right now. All right. If the game is too loud, tell me. I'll turn it down a little bit. This engine's noisy. Oops, I gotta click back on the game. What's kind of annoying is you gotta like taxi with the wheel brakes, you know, the differential brakes. So you gotta get some speed going so you can actually pivot on the brakes. Now I haven't flown this in like 3 or 4 days, so that wasn't good 3 or 4 days ago. So don't at me. And the group, the Virtual Carrier Task Force 58, I think it's the number, is they've got like a whole like, you know, server set up, and they got a pretty good thing. Apparently I haven't seen it yet, but they actually have dude that pops up and gives you carrier instructions and whatnot. Oh, I should drop flaps. You think maybe I should do flaps? We'll do flaps 30. How about that? We're armed. I haven't messed with the carrier on their server, but they've got missions and stuff, and they're pretty active. And they're what happened? That was weird. Now it's back. I'm getting nervous about this mic. Are you guys losing audio too, or is it just me? That was alarming. It scared the shit out of me, actually. The mic cut out? Yeah, I'm starting to worry. I was moving this and it started like blipping. I might get another cable. These mics are expensive. Alright. Well, thanks for letting me know. If it does any other weird audio things, please let me know. It's like one of the things I've actually been thinking about lately. I was like, man, you know, I bought this mic a long time ago. I'm waiting for shit to start breaking. Alright, here we roll. It's been intermittent. Oh, that's great. Well, that might also be my settings, and I don't talk loud sometimes. I see it lighting up when I talk, so that's a good sign. Alright, turn. Alright, here we go. Alright. Everything's open. Oh, she's already knocked. Get up. She's a heavy girl. back on the manifold. I'm watching that oil temp in the corner of my eye. Start easing the flaps up. Start trimming a little bit. Close that canopy. Alright. Let's get those flaps all the way up. It's heavy. Now, I know some people were complaining when this first came out that they thought it didn't have enough power, but I was actually watching like a legit World War II era training video for this thing, and they were only climbing at like 2,000 feet per minute, which is what I can get out of this. So I think they've got that down. Yeah, that's true. You could use the water injectors. I have not used them yet. And to be fair, I haven't been taking off fully loaded lately either, so I'm a little heavier. And it's hotter. I just changed the temperature on my little training map today, so there's a couple of variables that I'm not used to. Alright, let me change the mixture and my RPMs. We're looking good though. Temperatures are fine. But I think it said like the best cruise was like around 135 knots and about you'd get about 2,000 feet per minute. Kind of once you get established. Drive here. I don't know. I don't know. Probably. I don't know. Anyway, we'll just see if we can get up without nuking the engine. That's kind of the goal. Oh, okay. DCS just decided to freeze. Okay, cool. There we go. Now you guys got me worried about my mic. These mics are so expensive. God, I hope the mic doesn't break. All the other shit, fine. Actually, I think I was reading the Shure mics, now you don't need a cloud lifter, which I always thought was really weird. For these high-end mics, you also need a device to lift the decibels or whatever. I don't know. Hey, Tidy. Yeah, it was cutting out earlier. I think when I touch it, there's a short here. Because when I was moving my mic boom, I could hear it kind of clipping a little bit. I gotta find this trim. Oh, okay, game. DCS is just doing its own thing today. You can see we got a good handle on the temps there. Nothing to worry about. Just swap. Oops, shit. Went too far. We'll swap the fuel cell back to manual or main. I'm sorry. I keep fucking up this trim. I'm having a hard time trimming this thing. Not that it's not responsive or anything. It's just finding that sweet spot. Wow, DCS, is this the game we're gonna play today? Because I won't play you. I will do something else. Bet. Thanks for the follow. Yeah, that's true. We can close that because it's I think we've gotten what we need. Got a handle on it. But you can definitely feel like any sort of changes, like even just that, closing the oil cooler, you could feel the ramifications on the way that the aircraft flies. It's, you know, having never flown a Corsair, it seems like they did a pretty good job with the flight model. Flight model's really good. Plucky, am I using it? I'm using it right now. I'm using it right before your very eyes. I did have an issue with the stick that it came with. It was very strange. So you've got that little mini stick in the middle, but you can what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, you know what? You know, I'm reading that backwards. You could change it to be a, you know, 4-way hat or whatever. And that's what I was using, and then it stopped working. Long story short, if I pulled the actual head of the stick off, I could get full deflection. But as soon as I put it back on, it wouldn't register the upward motion. So I literally just took an X-Acto blade and I sort of like scraped a little bit of the plastic off of it so that I could get full deflection with the hat. I have no idea why. I have no idea what changed because I never had any problems with it. So it was very strange. I'm not really paying attention to what I'm doing. If you're, I see Bremer's critiquing me. I cannot talk and fly at the same time. This is more of a chatting thing. So you will exhaust yourself telling me all the things that I'm doing wrong. So just sit back and relax. It's gonna be okay. Where are we at? 4,000. But anyway, the moral of that story is I reached out to the company. At first, I was like, hey, you know, I'm having problems with the stick or whatever. And I talked to my rep, you know, that does the PR side of it or whatever, and said, you know, hey, I'm having issues with the stick, blah, blah, blah. I was like, hey, and then it caused me to look at other sticks. So I was like, well, maybe I'll just get something. Long story short, I talked them into sending me their high-end stick, whatever, MH16 or 18 or some shit like that, whatever it's called. So they're gonna send me that. And some other goodies, apparently. They get some other stuff that I guess they just came out with. And they asked me if I'd take a look, so I said, of course. So, that's what we'll hopefully be sharing soon. But, I mean, I like the stick that it came with, but I really miss my gunfighter. If only VKB had a force feedback system. If only they were developing something like that. It would be ideal. Can I talk to your car insurance? I could try. I think I'd have to do a video for them though. That's how that usually works. I do like one of those Top Dog Law commercials though. Have you heard those? If you don't know what I'm talking about, just stop watching the stream. Go Google Top Dog Law commercials and just listen to like 2 or 3 of them, and you will die. You have a VKB stick, so what adapter did you use, Patrick? That I know that it's possible. I'm not sitting here saying, oh, I wish I could do that because it can't be done. I know it is possible. I've just been kind of nervous to try. I haven't really talked to anyone who's done it, so I know you have to have an adapter. Where did you get the adapter? And in 5 words or less, how does it interface with the black box deal? Is there like weird drama you got? Because I don't like computer drama. Like I don't like have to go in like, oh, you gotta go into the BIOS and change this. Like I'm out if that's anything you gotta do. Yeah, do that for me. And if you're wondering who I'm talking to, if you're in Twitch, you know, like who the fuck's he talking to? So we're streaming on dual platforms, so I get the chat from YouTube and Twitch, but you guys don't see the opposite, which I think is kind of silly, but it is what it is. Anyway, here we are flying. We're getting close to 7,000 feet. I'm just cruising and chatting. I don't even know where I am anymore. I think I've done like a large circle at this point. I don't know. Because yeah, I think I took off from over there, which is pathetic because I wasn't intending to do a big circle, but it's fine. It works out. I wanted to go this direction anyway. I did play with that bat bomb finally. The guys showed me how to use it. I managed to make it work despite my best efforts. You know what I mean? Like I didn't really understand what I did right because for a while it wasn't doing anything right, and then suddenly it just started working. So I don't. But I only did it the one time. So. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, Bremer, put a link in for guys that are interested. So that is kind of my new thing. I'm in 2 groups. I'm with these guys, and I'm with the 51st. Like, I am exhausted from trying to make videos solely about like stuff that I make up. So I think flying with other groups is going to give me an opportunity to do some stuff. Because a lot of times I have the time to fly the mission, but I don't have time to plan it and do all the things that kind of are required. So that's helpful for me. I'm going to go ahead and just put on the old supercharger. And then now we got to... Let's see. I didn't like that. The VP4. Okay, I think that's what I was looking at. Yeah, that's from the Rhino guy, right? And it's about $100, I think. All right, so that is an adapter between the 3-prong and then whatever VKB uses. But did you have to do anything beyond that? Is there any other weirdness? My cylinder head's getting a little high there. That's always just been my worry is, you know, I don't want to spend $100 on something and then like find out I got to do a bunch of weird stuff. No, just connects the adapter to the black box from VKB. Okay. Well, I might have to look into it. It's just a tax write-off anyway. I'll just stream with it, make a video. Someone says, try and dogfight and tell me you like the Corsair. Well, I think, speaking from a position of not knowing shit, I don't think the Corsair, if you're trying to fight it in a traditional dogfight style, then I don't know that it's not really a turning fight kind of airplane, as I understand it. It's more of a, you know, fight as a group type thing. The VKB stick works as a VKB stick, and the Moza base is for pitch and roll. Alright, so yes or no question. So what you're saying then is you still have to use the VKB software to program all the buttons and stuff on the stick, and then you're just using the Moza software to control the base as it relates to the force feedback. Is that what you're saying? Who is texting me? Who the hell is Michael Ross? This seems like a trick. I don't believe Michael Ross works for Amazon. You get the VKB as one unit and DCS and Moza as another. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, I got you. I'm tracking. So the VKB stick shows up separately in DCS, so you got to program. I got you. Tracking. All right. Well, I might look into that. Because I do miss my gunfighter. Like a lot. Even though, again, I like this stick. It's not bad. Alright, where am I? Where's my little... That's where I want to go. And the fact that we haven't burned up the engine yet, for me, is a win. So I'm happy. Hello, Ken. Yeah, I'll look into that. That's encouraging. Alright, I'm gonna drop some bombs. Not that I know. I don't have a good aiming idea. I haven't really played with it too much. I'll let the task force guys teach me their ways, because they're like bombing ships and stuff, and I don't have that skill. I can shoot rockets, but that's about it. And the bat bomb. Bat bomb. Alright, so for the rockets, we gotta turn these puppies on. Scooter, you should. You'll get plenty of helicopter time if you want to join the helicopter group. I was in the F-15 squadron, but we closed it down for obvious reasons, so now I'm doing the A-10 stuff. I kind of wish they had a Harrier squadron, but at the same time I understand why they probably wouldn't. They've got F-16s, F-18s, the helicopter side, A-10s. Oh, and I think they have a C-130 squadron. But they're pretty active too. The problem with those guys, it's just the way it is they do a lot of stuff at 9 o'clock at night, which kind of sucks for me because it's kind of hard to start something at 9 o'clock at night. Well, yeah, you can go there and do Kiowa shit. I have no interest. I thought about doing more helicopter stuff. I'm just, you know what? I don't fucking want to. No offense. I'm just tired of teaching people how to do basic stuff. That stuff. It's frustrating. I don't need that drama. Oh, okay. I guess we'll stop playing DCS right now. You know what's funny is DCS hasn't crashed on me in weeks. Even that stuttering it was doing hasn't done that in weeks. Pathetic. Thanks, bro. I will not. I'm going to work tomorrow. This will probably be the last DCS I play for the next 2 weeks. There's not a new patch. This is, I mean, not new since I got home from work 11 days ago. So, I don't know. It's reloading right now. There we go. See you, Burmer. Thanks for stopping by. All right, well, guess we'll just go back into that. I don't want to drop bombs anyway. Eh. Trying to see if work has scheduled my plane ticket yet. Nothing. It's always the worst the day before I go back to work because you're just waiting to find out, okay, where am I going? What time do I got to get up tomorrow? What time do I got to be at the airport? And then they'll give you something and you'll be like, okay, cool, this is the plan. Especially if it's something that's good. We're like, oh yeah, okay, I don't have to leave the house till like 9 o'clock. And like dinner time, it'll change. Like, oh no, you have to be at the airport at 7 a.m. and you're flying to Denver or something. Or Seattle. God. Ugh, Seattle. Hate flying all the way up there. So far. It's so far. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate you. All right, well, we get the good practice of our Flugen, our Flugen startup. How does your crew duty hours compare to old military life? Oh, it's much easier in the military. That's one of the complaints I have, like, legally, like, you know, legally in my type of work, they can work you for shit, hang on. They can work you for like 14 hours. I mean, it's rare, but it happens. And I'm like, this is bullshit. Like, this shouldn't even be legal. And it's not the company's fault. I mean, the company's going to do what the legally they can do, right? But from the FAA standpoint, it shouldn't even be legal. But they rarely do. Is the Corsair worth it? I mean, you know, how do you answer that question? Like, what? It all depends on what you like to do, right? I mean, I'll be honest, 1000% honest with you. Like, I like this plane, but I had no intention of buying it because at the time I was kind of like, you know what, F DCS. Like, I'm just kind of tired of the empty promises. Like, really tired of it. But this thing came out with so little fanfare whatsoever. Like, Hammy told me, like, the day of, he's like, are you gonna buy the Corsair? I'm like, no, probably not. He's like, oh, it's coming out today. I'm like, no, it isn't. Like, they've literally said nothing about it, and it came out that day. And I was like, you know what? If I buy this and stream with it, like, 3 days in a row and do a couple videos, I'll have paid for it. So that's what I did, and that's basically why I bought it. But, that being said, I mean, I do like it. But if you're not a Warbird guy, then it's probably not a good fit for you. Oh, I still got those bombs on there. Alright, I'm not gonna fly as high this time. I'm just gonna... let's just take off. But that's what we were talking about earlier. I think planes like this in particular, if you don't have enough community that flies it, then it's probably not worth it. Because if it's just you, if you're just a solo player, I don't know. And I think this is true, honestly, of all planes. If you're just a solo player, I honestly don't know why you play DCS. Like, it's one thing to just do it, like, for practice or, you know, something like that. But, like, if that's just all you do, I don't know. It sounds really boring. And if it works for you, good. But I don't know why you do it. Because I think, for me, the enjoyment is, like, the coordination and working with other people. Like, that's what military flying is really all about. The button pushing is, like, okay. Alright, we've got our coolers open, we got our cowling open. Do this again. And maybe this time it won't crash on us. At least I can say I didn't crash. So. Yeah, dynamic campaign for solo play, that's something. At least there's something there, but like just kind of creating your own missions constantly and flying, like, it's not for me. Not for me. It's for you? Good. Good for you. Happy. Okay. Easy, friend. Where are we going? Whoa, pedals. Whoa. Get up. Get up. Get up. Get up. Get up. Oh, God, we're gonna hit the trees. Woo. That was a sporty takeoff. Not my best. Not my best. Oh, I just hit the wrong button on that one. Kind of getting ahead of myself here. Alright, where were we? Yeah, I mean, I play solo all the time, but it's literally just the mechanical practice, right? Like, it's this. If I'm not streaming this is what I do. It's like, alright, I'm gonna take off, I'm gonna go drop bombs, I'm gonna shoot gun, and I'm gonna land. And it's boring as fuck, but you gotta do it. Especially when it's a plane that's a little bit hard to do, or if it's like the A-10 where there's just a lot of memory. You know, I just try to keep my fingers in the game. But I think you're missing out if that's your what the sole way you play. Again, if it's for you, that's great, but I still think you're missing out. So that being said, for a plane like this, I think joining a group or having like-minded dudes who like come together, like, you know what, we're not gonna just learn this plane, but we're gonna actually like get good at it and like treat it, you know, with some level of respect like that. I think that's the way to do it. Again, that's just me talking. Because if you ask me, well, what do you miss about military flying? I miss that there's not a dude on my left. Right? I miss that there's not a dude I'm talking to on the radio. Even if it's just the bullshit for a second. Those are the things I miss. I don't miss the mechanical, like, oh, let me just take off with the helicopter. That's boring. Hey, Happy. What's up, buddy? I have yet to come to your airport. I'm just gonna climb up, not as high as last time, so that I can try dropping some bombs. I got some vehicles parked over in this strip. What am I doing? Trying to close up some of those cowlings. Oh, I need to change my RPM. And go clean on the old mixture. Go to the main tanks. You don't need to go to the main tanks. It's procedural. Flight Sim Expo. When is it? Short answer probably no, but when is it? Then I can definitively say no. I wouldn't mind going to something in my, official capacity. I can't jump seat like I used to in the last job. And the problem is my points don't carry as much weight anymore because fuel prices being what they are. June 12th, I can already tell you I have something going on. June 12th, I just can't remember what it is. So no is the answer for that. But thanks for the training. You're welcome. Thank you. I'm sorry I had to take a bunch of them down, but I don't want to go to an ICE detention facility. So. $80, huh? Yeah, plus the getting there. Plus the hotel. Which hotel, like, probably get the points for that, but... Minnesota. Yeah, I know I'm off the 12th, but I feel like something was scheduled for me on the 12th. Or maybe it was the 10th. I don't know. Is it just a one-day thing? Surely it's... Oh, it's more than that. Yeah, it's gotta be a couple days. I don't know, I'm still waiting to find out about this Gulfstream thing, man. Like, I'm so frustrated. Like, when I interviewed, it was like, oh, this is a short notice thing, like, you really need to fill the slot. Like, okay, I can start whenever. You sold the deleted vids to China. Well, then you're going to ICE prison. Not me. I'm not really high enough to justify using the dive brakes on this, which is really what I wanted to do. I'll continue to climb a little bit. We'll do one more loop, and then whatever we get, we'll go with that. We'll crank up the 2550 on the RPMs, I think is the magic number. Way too fast. We'll pitch for 140 or so. Like I said, I just have a hard time trimming this thing. For whatever reason, this plane, I don't know if it's me or if it's just the way that it is or what, but I have a hard time. If I look away for more than a second or two, I'm way out of trim. Anyway. Yeah, for legal reasons, I'm joking. On the Moza. No, well, it's not really a Moza issue. Like, this plane is very susceptible to, you make one small input change on one control, and it affects everything else. And so it's really finicky. Like, I can try and trim it out with the Moza, but it's just hard. Or it is definitely not something that I've mastered, put it that way. No, I'm not in Minnesota. Fuck no. No, sir. No sirree, Bob. The Flight Expos in Minnesota. Or I shan't be. Alright, I think this is high enough. We got 2 bombs, we're gonna drop both bombs. We've got the tail, fuse, release. I guess we should master arm this puppy. And we'll deploy the dive brakes, which are basically just the gear. Do a quick look at the temperature. We're looking okay. As soon as I turn my head, like I just relax the pressure a little bit. I just can't find that sweet spot with this thing. Alright. There's a couple guys. Right there, that road intersection. How about that? We'll see what we can do. This will be terrible. Alright, dive brakes are coming out. Again, it's just basically the gear. Except for the tail wheel. Thanks. Whoa. Bombs away! That was fairly close. I was aiming for that intersection. That's not too bad. I'll take that. I mean, they're bombs. Dumb bombs. Make sure they both came off. They did. Alright. Cool. Now the rockets, we gotta arm them here. They're armed, they're on, they're in singles. It's gonna shoot a pair. Any new games? No, there really aren't. There really aren't any games that I look forward to anymore. I wish there were. I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, man, I used to get excited about new games coming out, but I think I had better imagination back then. So I don't get too excited about anything coming out. Alright, there's a guy. Alright, we're going for rockets again. I don't really have a good aiming thing. I know they drop because they're rockets, and that's what rockets do. We're way out of trim. This is no, I'm not even gonna shoot because we're so out of trim. It's just gonna be a waste. Temperatures are okay. I like Lord of the Rings. I don't know that I'm, into it. I think if I had an ideal game, it would be like Skyrim, but like multiplayer, and not like MMO multiplayer. And I know there's like a mod where you can do that. I thought there was oh, there. Oh, fuck. Whatever. It's all at the last second. But again, even to do that, you'd have to have so much free time. Like I used to play Skyrim a lot. But you really gotta have the free time for it. There's something right there. I gotta change this button mapping. This is super uncomfortable. Because the rocket release button is different than the bomb drop. Just long. Just long. That's alright. The first rockets are always throwaways anyway. Morrowind. Oh, fucking God. Let me tell you something. If they would remake Morrowind, this would be a Morrowind channel. I love Morrowind so much. The music was so good. I loved that game. Granted, I was a lot younger and things were different then too. God damn it. Even with my curve, the pedals are like really sensitive in this thing. That was long. Or that was to the right. I put quite a curve on these pedals and they're still in the moment. The thing about curves and things like that is sometimes when we set these up, we're not really factoring in the adrenaline part. Like, cause when you're just sitting there like, well, let me put this in, you know, and you set this curve. And then when you're like in the moment, it's a lot, you put in a lot more power than you think you do. So it gets messy fast. I don't know what that means. I'm definitely not as good at the Corsair as the P47. I thought it was pretty decent with the P47 with gunnery. This thing, not so good. Ugh, left. That was a little bit of drift, a little bit of wind. Yeah, I did see something about that. Guys were like remaking Morrowind kind of from scratch. I don't think Bethesda's gonna remake it themselves. I think I read something where they were like, no, like they're doing Oblivion, I believe. I could be wrong about that, but like Morrowind's just too far back. I don't know. The reality is I probably wouldn't like it nearly as much as I remember liking it. You know what I mean? Alright, let's do some gunning. The music was fucking choice in that game. Where? Man, it's hard to see shit on this map. Oh. Oh, is it already out? The remake of Oblivion? Okay. I didn't like Oblivion all that much. It just got really repetitive. You know what I mean? Like the Oblivion gates, it just kept popping. You're like, God, another one? It was just the same fucking thing over and over. I never finished that game because of that, because I was just tired of the Oblivion gates. I finished Morrowind. I think I finished Skyrim. I don't remember. What the fuck, over? Oh shit, I forgot about that. This gets me every time. These stupid charging handle things for the guns. I always forget that. Jeremy says, I can't imagine Bethesda recapturing the magic of their older games. I can't either, but I also think that's more... It's not all their fault. I think it's the changing of times, right? Like, we remember things differently because we were in a different place too. So it's like a nostalgia thing. That's why I say I think like Morrowind, if I was actually to play it, I'd be like, oh, this is trash, you know. But I have such fond memories of it. Okay, we're okay. Yeah, it's fucking wobbly. It's a wobbly bird. Where did this guy go? I was literally just looking at a dude right here. Oh, fuck. Come on. You know what I mean? There's that adrenaline, like... I don't know. I gotta figure out these curves. It's unacceptable. Oil's getting a little hot. I'm gonna open up the coolers there a little bit. Yeah, we need another COVID. It was a great time for YouTubers. Awful. Hello, Moose Sparky. Thank you for the follow. Man, these dudes are impossible to see. God damn. That got his ass. Finally. Colonel Killer, hello. Glad you're here. Yeah, this one's definitely a bobbler. Whoa. We're gonna stall. She's shaking. She's shaking like a leaf. Alright, where's this monkey ass motherfucker? There he is. So I could tell it was gonna be way off because of my trim ball. So I knew I was gonna have to keep coming right and just fucking curve the bullet, as it were. And that holds true, like if you're doing helicopter gunnery too, like get the thing in trim. I'm gonna mess with my yaw trim here, maybe that'll help my feet. Yeah, as soon as you put in any power, man, you gotta put in like a ton of pedal on this bitch. And that's one of the things that I need to like get a handle on is the yaw to torque. It's kind of like flying a helicopter. Like my feet automatically move, right? When I pull in power, like my feet just know what to do. That's why flying the hind is so hard, because the rotor spins the opposite direction. So everything that I know my body tries to do is wrong. But it's the same with this beast. These are gonna curve a little bit to the left. I got him. You kind of have to set it and forget it with the power. Target, torque, trim, target. God willing, Ebola will get out of hand and we can stay at home. Ugh. Gas gets any more expensive while I'm staying at home. There's one. Trim is way out. Curve the bullet. I got him. See, I do it to myself because I go in for the dive and I pull back the power, but I'm not, my feet are not trained appropriately to put in the requisite amount of yaw to compensate. I come out of these turns and I'm just in the wrong spot. That's right, it's all part of it's 3D chess. Oh fuck. Why are we so fucking stupid? Sorry, not we. Some of us called this shit a long time ago, but why are other people so fucking stupid? I got him. Yeah. Alright, there's one there on the tip. The tippity top. All right, I feel bad for us too. I don't think the winds are set very. So I normally don't mess with the winds too much. It's just a lot of controlling that trim. You got to get in on it early. Like right now, if I pull back on the power, we're gonna have some massive effects with the yaw. So I'm not gonna do that. Oh wait, that's not the right guy, is it? Oh no, there he is. God damn, they're so hard to see. Like I'll show you. I'm gonna pull back on the power. Well, we're hauling ass, so it doesn't really matter. But like, if you come back into that turn and pull back on the power, you'll get some wild yaw. We're just kind of hauling ass there, so it's kind of streamlined. All right, pulling back on the power. See, I got to put in a lot of left pedal, which means you got to do a lot of cross control. There he is. We gotta get closer because the guns have that dispersion that built in. Come on, pedal, motherfucker! God. Rah. I don't like these guns. I don't know why I keep using them, because they don't burn, and then you don't really know if they're dead or not. So. Yeah, Brad was saying the new Apache flight model is supposed to be pretty legit. It was pretty fucking good when it first came out, and then they had to monkey with it, and it just became dog shit. I will say though, with having the Moza or something like it, makes it much more enjoyable, much easier. Probably almost out of ammo. We haven't torqued the engine, and that's what's important. The other thing I like about the force feedback is like it tells you that you're pulling too hard. Like I was kind of pulling hard on this turn, and it was shaking. All right, those look dead. Oh, there's one that's not dead. I don't think he's dead. Boosh! I don't think you're dead either. No, you are now. And honestly, this right here is realistic for that time period. Like getting really low like that and just being all up in their shit. What was I reading about a P-47? It came back with like telephone wire. All right, Jeremy, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you. Well, that is actually pretty realistic as far as getting down low. I'm just getting down stupid close. You can watch the gun camera footage, right? They're like strafing trains and shit. You can see just how low they are. I think all these guys. Hello, tree. Oh, he's not. Boosh! Nice. I like it. Yeah, exactly. Blowing up trains and flying through fireballs and shit. 100%. Yeah, that's wild. All right, let's see if we can land. The greatest adventure of all. Yeah, they truly were. Mosquito guys too, fly really low, stupid low. IL-2 1946. I never played that. Alright, so that's our field. We're going hella fast. I'm gonna they were saying it's actually like 24 on the whatchamacallit, RPMs. Altitude's good. Let's drop gear. Oops, I keep moving wrong throttle. This is definitely where you'll start to feel that torque when you put in some power. Get to low air speeds and stuff. So you gotta like get ahead of it best you can. Alright, I'm just gonna land with 30 on the flaps. As we're landing at a field. Tail wheel is locked. Gear is down. Flaps are 30 set. 30 indicated. Lights are on, clear to land. That's my pre-landing checklist. Gears down through green, down through green. Flaps 30 set, 30 indicated. Lights on, clear to land. That's it. It's so simple. I extended this way too far, but I was going so fast. I was really kind of want to land, kind of like almost like a circle, so you can keep your eye on the runway, so you don't have to do this shit right here. Let's see if we can do a touch and go. Alright, we're going about 100 knots. I want to be going about 90-ish. Again, I don't want to yank back on power because that's when you're going to get into problems. Temperatures are okay. Alright, cool. And slowly go to power, let it just pops right back up. Let's go gear up. Checking my temperatures. Oh, I'm always got my eye going back down to those temps. She'll burn you. I'm gonna try to keep about 120 or so on the downwind. And we'll try and curve the bullet here on the landing, so we can keep an eye on them. I haven't seen anything for the the Corsair, but I know I saw some documentation of the P-47 where they would sort of just do this downwind final. It was like a loop, so that you could keep the runway in sight pretty much through the side window the whole time until you right before touchdown. I think if you're on the fence for this module, if you have the P-47 and you understand the engine mechanics of it, then you'll be okay with this. It's basically the same. Alright, gears coming down. Flaps will go 10. Pulling power back. Flaps 20. Just gonna hold that for now. 110 knots. The other thing you gotta watch for is as you start dropping flaps, you gotta push in some power, and that's where you can kind of get behind the aircraft. as it relates to the torque. Alright, so I gotta start pulling back on power, which can also screw you up on torque. You saw that little nose wobble there. Alright, so we're at 30 on the flaps. I think that's good. Gears down to green, flaps at 30. Try and get 90 knots or so. We're at about 100 right now, which is fine. Land a little fast. Look at all this space. I still should have turned in sooner. If we survive this, we'll do another one. Oh, overshot just a little bit. Atlanta approach, be yelling at me right now. FlexJet, where are you going? Power. Takeoff. I will say this for DCS Warbird, like this is one thing I actually do kind of derive some enjoyment from. Is just doing some touch and go, some pattern work. Yeah, I'm sure it was. I just hadn't seen the official documentation, but I have no doubt that they did the curving thing just like the P-47 had to. There's no way. I think it was even in that movie, what was it, Devotion? And they'd give that one guy shit because he would like come in straight in, but he would do something I don't remember what the deal was, but I remember it was some sort of talking point in the movie. My cylinder head's getting a little warm, so I'm gonna open up those cowl flaps up there on the nose. Alright, I'm at about 1,000 feet, that's good. We're going about 130. Start slowing her back a little bit. Yeah, a good landing, like even at work, like in my real job, like it feels good to land. And the Challenger is so easy to land. Like you have to really want to slam it down. I don't know what it is, but that thing just loves to land. I don't think I've ever had like a landing where I'm just like, ugh, like maybe once or twice out of 700 some odd hours. All right, here, we'll go flaps 10. All right, we want to turn in earlier. We'll go flaps 20. Try and get ahead of the flaps here. All right, flaps 30. This might be a little bit too much, but we'll see. Alright, gears down. Flaps 30. Speed's good. Got a little bit of a descent, stabilized. A little better. A little fast. Terrible. Unlock the tail wheel. Need to turn off up here on the right. There it is. Little bit of brake. A little bit of power. This right here, for me, like in the commercial world, this is the worst part right here. Leaving the runway, like at a busy place, it's the worst. Because that's when they're like, maybe they'll tell you to contact ground, maybe they'll tell you to stay with them, maybe they'll give you 9 different things to instructions for taxi. You're trying to get off the runway, you got like 20 steps on your flow you're trying to knock out, like it's just the absolute worst. Open. Sorry. Again, it's very hot here, so we're gonna open the oil cooler and the cowling. What do we do for helicopters? I have no idea, dude. Not my jam. Not my monkeys, not my circus. That's what I was saying. You kind of run out of juice. It's kind of hard to turn around. So whatever. Brakes. Flip the old magnetos off there. Anyway. Let's see. That movie was pretty good. Oh, Devotion. I only seen it the one time. I don't remember it, honestly. I didn't think it was too bad. Isn't that guy like embroiled in controversy though? What's his name? African American guy. Is that not working? Oh, there we go. Anyway. Yeah, I don't think it was terrible. Did I miss the 7.3? Sometimes. I don't miss the cockpit. It's a mess. There's just stuff everywhere. And none of them are the same. So you get into one, and the radio's panels are on the right side, and you get another one, the radio panels on the left side. It's a mess. Challenger, it's all right there. The 350, yeah, we have 300s, 350s, and 3500s. I just flew a 3500 the other day when I went to Europe. That's why I went to Europe, because I was on a 3500. And it had auto throttles, which whatever. 7.3 had auto throttles. But I hadn't flown auto throttles in like 2 years, so it was kind of weird to go back to doing that. It's so much easier though. But now I'm so used to manually throttling everything. You're looking forward to the F100. Yeah, I wasn't. I'm not a big like Century series guy for planes, but I've been watching their videos, and there's some interesting stuff. I like the gun camera thing. That's pretty cool. For yeah, I was looking at more like content creator type, like oh, that's pretty cool. You know, it always goes back to, and I think this is true of all DCS modules, is what do you do with it? So after a while, what do you do with it? Because you kind of do the same things with it. So, which then goes back, in my opinion, to that sort of conversation about community and being with the right group of people, where you don't get bored taking off to go drop bombs on a bridge. Even though you did that last week and you did it the week before. And so where do you really derive the enjoyment? Is it the flying to drop bombs on a bridge? Or is it the friends you made along the way, right? Like, is it the coordination and the, you know, getting better at doing the thing? That's where I think the value of doing DCS or, you know, IL-2 or things like that comes from. But that being said, it does look like a good plane because it's relatively low thrills, you know, like it's just drop some bombs, shoot some sidewinders, I think. So, yeah. Domestic abuse. That's right. Yeah, it was domestic abuse, that guy. Red Tail is a good movie with a P-40. Is it though? Is it? I mean, there was definitely some cool scenes, but I think My problem with that Red Tails movie, I watched it, I think I watched it on a plane when I was going to work, and I was just like, this movie sucks balls. Like, it was not a good, it was not a good war movie. It was not a good military movie. I don't think it did justice to those guys and that organization. I don't know. I did not like that movie. I did not find it compelling and rich. What are we doing here? Why is this shaking? Anyway, yeah, I don't know. Slower than the F5, it carries more bombs and missiles, so I think I'm gonna get it. I do like Bomb Truck. That's why I like the Phantom. We need a Vietnam map. Yeah, good luck with that. You know what? Can we just complete the Afghan map and the Iraq map? Can we do that? So, like, I'll remind everybody, I had Wags on my channel at least 2.5 years ago, because I didn't even live in this house back then, and I've lived in this house for 2 years now, almost to the day. Actually, next month it'll be 2 years, but and their whole thing was, this is coming out in waves of like 6 months. Here we are, and really nothing's changed. So when we talk about maps and DCS, I get a little bit triggered because I think it's bullshit. I thought Masters of the Air was going to do justice to Red Tails. I don't even remember. Like, I remember them being in there, but I do remember being underwhelmed. Masters of the Air was kind of weird. Like, I kind of like it, but at the same time, I kind of don't. I was actually rewatching it recently because there was nothing else on. And I think now that I know who's who, it makes it a little bit easier. Because I think the problem I had the first time I watched it is, like, for whatever reason, all these dudes to me look the same. Like, the main two guys who are also named Buck or whatever. Like, I had a really hard time. Like, I don't know why. Face blindness, I guess. But I got a really hard time. Like, which who am I talking? Like, what are we doing? Who is this? I know it doesn't help when they wear a mask and stuff. But, yeah, I didn't like it as much as I thought I would. But that's a pretty compelling story in real life, like what those guys went. Flyboys, I do remember that. Was that who was in that? I think I did see that one. They literally had one episode where they did one mission and all of them got shot down, and there was no scenes of them escorting the bombers. Oh, the Red Tails. The only fun character was the Rosie guy. Yeah, I read on his history too. Like, that was realistic. Like, he got shot down and like milked his way to Russia, and then was worried the Russians were going to shoot him. Because I think he actually ended up taking command of the unit or something like that. Like, he was a bigger character. That was the other hard part with shows like that, because I think they did a good job of, like, this is an important character in real life, but we're not going to shoehorn him in at the beginning. Like, we're actually going to bring him in later because that's what happened. So I give him credit for that. My back is killing me. Oh, fuck. I don't know if you guys heard that, but I felt that. Whew. You know when you get that really good crack and like your brain's just like, dooey. That's where I'm at right now. Oh, do you have information about how much load in kilograms? Fuck no, I don't. I don't mean to laugh, but no, of course not. Not a clue. And I'm not laughing at you, but it reminds me of a story. I'll tell you guys a story. Oh. I was talking to John Waters, the Afterburn podcast guy, one time, and I was telling him about how I would get questions kind of like that, like these real technical questions, and I was like, "Did that ever happen to you?" He goes, "Oh yeah, all the time." It's like when I was a demo pilot for the F-16, you know, guys would ask, "Oh, what does this green light do or whatever, you know. And he's like, I don't know. And you're like, what do you mean you don't know? He's like, if it comes on, it's good. If it doesn't come on, it's bad. Like, that's all I know about it. So yeah, so we don't get too into the weeds. I would argue that pilots actually get too into the weeds on a lot of technical stuff. You know, a lot of our check rides, it's not so much in this job, thankfully, but like in the Army, like, what was the one? I was just thinking about this. In the Kiowa, there's a oil filter in the back left, and it's got a little button that would pop up if it was bypassed. So as you pre-flight the aircraft, you'd go by there and you'd look through this little, like, call it like a chicken cage or I don't remember. It was like this cage type thing, so you could see it through that, and you'd look to see if the little red button was popped up. And that would be like a question on a check ride, is like, well, what is the pressure needed to cause that to pop up? Who fucking cares? Who fucking cares? I have no input on that. Yeah, but Gerler says, for commercial pilots, I appreciate pilots and other systems. That's not what I'm talking about, though. Because you're saying like MCAS. Okay, that's how to use the system. That's fine. What I'm saying is, I don't need to know, like, why MCAS is doing what it's doing. I just need to know, and I never flew an MCAS airplane, I just need to know that if it does this and that's wrong, then do this. I don't need to know the widgets. It's like a question they used to ask us at the Apache course. Thankfully, they stopped asking these stupid questions when I went through, but one of them I know was, what is the PSI for the tires? I don't know. I don't work on the tires. You will never find a situation ever where I will be pumping the tires full of air. So why do I need to know? I don't care. There's a great clip from 10% True podcast where Starbase mentions a guy came up to him saying, hey, this specific jet was at Rucker last month, wasn't it? Services, I don't know. Yeah, I don't need to know how the sausage is made. But I think that actually Tricker said this to me one time, because I was complaining to him when I first came into commercial aviation. I was complaining to him about stuff on this check ride, and he's like, I think guys in this career make it harder than it needs to be because it's actually not that hard. And I think that's truth. He didn't say it just like that, but that's basically what he was saying. I think there's a lot of truth to that. I think guys, and I fly with guys who are very technical about stuff, but they have no personality. So like knowing these gotcha things are the personality. It PSIs on the sidewall, exactly. So I don't know. My interests are like, if a light turns on and I need to do something, like, yes. I always think about, I'll tell you a story where this kind of came to head. So first of all, there's a crash that happened years ago in Miami where these guys, I think it was a 727. I don't know. They had like a crew, what do they call them? A flight engineer in the back, you know, in the back of the cockpit. So there's 3 guys in the cockpit. They go to drop the gear, and then the gear light didn't come on. So they couldn't really tell if the gear was down or something. I don't remember the particulars, but they're all staring at this light, trying to figure out why this light is on or not on or whatever. And it's dark, and they end up spending so much time paying attention to this that they lose track of what the airplane's doing and they crash. And it kills everyone on board. I was on a plane, a 7-3, and we had an engineer with us because we were flying empty. We had just dropped off a sports team. So it's just the 2 pilots and the engineer. And we lost cabin pressure. Not explosive depressurization, just it started getting high. And so we got it under control. It wasn't a big deal. And we're in the storm, like it's shitty weather. We're just getting rocked. And all 3 of us are sitting there trying to figure out why this happened. And suddenly, like a clip from that video where they show you that event that I talked about in Miami popped in my head, where all 3 of these dudes are looking at the light. Whoa, what's just happening? And that like and I was like, that's what we're fucking doing right now. And I purposely pulled my head out of like this whole conversation, and I just started. I wasn't the pilot flying, but I just started looking at the controls, and I was just like making sure, like, we're getting rocked up here in the storm. There's lightning and shit, and I'm like, are we at altitude? Are we on speed? Is everything doing what it's supposed to do? I don't fucking care why the pressure was low. I don't have to fix it. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where I'm at with some of that stuff. Somebody asked me today about on a comment, and they asked if the Kai was force trim was mag braked. I was like, I don't know. There could be Keebler elves in there holding it. I don't know how it works. I don't care how, because I don't have to work on it. So anyway, so if you see some of us who are kind of flipping about the thing, that's why. Because one, we've had that kind of like, I call it trivia, aviation trivia, jammed down our throats for so long. I guess we kind of resent it a little bit. I don't know. I think for civilian pilots just have celebrity status to us, so we just assume they're kind of higher beings that know everything. We should get better at asking ground crews about this stuff. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, there's not a thing. If something breaks on the airplane, I don't care what it is. I call maintenance and ask them, hey, dude, this just did this. Is this normal? Or what is happening? You know, what should I be concerned about? You always have to like go into how does this affect me and my mission, right? Flying passengers, flying cargo, whatever it is we're doing. How do I get from A to B? That's all I care about. Can I fly this aircraft? Is it safe to fly? I don't give a shit as to, well, the flux capacitors, you know, and the moon is waning, or, you know, whatever bullshit. But, you know, check rides would be very boring if we didn't ask a lot of trivia. So thankfully, where we go to train, they're actually pretty decent about asking like questions. Like, here, I'll give you an example. The wingspan of your aircraft. That's not trivia, because I might need to know that, because I might go into a small field where sometimes they tell you, hey, planes above this number can't, you know, do this. Or if you get a hangar space, they may ask you, you know, so things like that matter. But what oil pressure causes the bypass, I don't care. Or temperature, I guess it was temperature. Yeah, that one bypassed because it got so hot. I don't remember. Who gives a shit? Anyway, it's exhausting. Which reminds me, I need to start studying because I have longer current coming up in July. And I don't really need to know that much, but if you don't look at it every so often, it definitely falls out of your head. And I was kind of hoping I'd get this Gulfstream gig, and I wouldn't have to worry about going to Challenger recurrent, but they are dragging their feet on this, and I don't know why. I know I'm still on the list as a possible. I just don't know why I haven't got it yet, so it's fine. I still have a job, that's all that matters. So anyway, are we done monologuing? I think we've covered everything. I didn't intend to do this the whole time, but that's what we did. And I still don't have plane tickets for tomorrow. Should be any minute now. Usually by 1. What else? What else you got for me? What other questions? Tell me something. Tell me something good. The F-100. Oh, what were we gonna look at? Oh, the winds. Somebody brought up the winds. I was curious. I know I didn't put any crazy winds in there. 10 knots. Yeah. Oh, when I went to an air show in France last year and there was a KC-46 there, and I started talking to the boomer about her job, and I could legit see her eyes light up. About being the boom operator? That's got to be kind of cool. You know? Not for me, but any intel on low time pilot jobs by chance? No, I don't have any intel. I know it's tough out there. Yeah, I don't know. Got to get your foot in the door, I think, is the best advice. And network. Talk to people. I was always a bad networker in the military, but I've tried to be better at it in the civilian world. I mean, even this Gulfstream thing, it's kind of a word of mouth type gig within the company. And you talk to the right person, and then they talk to another right person, and next thing you know, you're getting phone calls from people you never heard of. So definitely do that. I know you said the Century series wasn't your favorite. Do you have a favorite out of them? Well, the Thud is one, right? What is that? The F-105? I'm bad with numbers. I like that one. Getting her to talk about her job. Yeah, 100%. People get excited about talking about stuff they do. Oh, River. I was just thinking about you. You need to text me, dude. I don't have your number. I emailed you and said text me, and you never did, and I felt very sad. Am I coming to San Antonio? I have no idea, dude. I never know. I never know till the day before, and even then, it's questionable. I haven't been there in a couple months, and I've never stayed the night. I've always been passing through, and really not that often. Only a couple times. I usually go into Austin or Dallas. Yeah, I've only been to San Antonio maybe 2 or 3 times, honestly. But I miss you. Text me. I'll email you my number again. I thought I had. I don't understand. I'm pretty sure we. So I don't know. I don't know. Now I know you're busy. I know you had to go back to work and do like real work. But I think about it every time I'm in Texas. I'm like, oh, I'm going to San Antonio. But then I can't text you anyway. So anyway, how are you? I hope you're doing well. You still playing DCS like late at night? I see you like log in and stuff, but I don't know if it's you or like your kids or something. Love you too. That's River, everybody. It's one of the OGs. The OGs of my community. In the podcast biz for a little bit. Anyway. Ever fly into Winnipeg? I have not. Can't say that I have. Sounds cold there. I'm from Montreal. I've definitely flown into Montreal. Canada. Man, they run their aviation with an iron fist. Trying to get out of Montreal or what's the bad one? Toronto. Like they're really like time sensitive. Like you gotta like call them at a certain time, be ready to go at a certain time, taxi out at a certain time. Like if you miss your spot, woe be unto you. It's tough. But it's good. Good for them. That was good times. We were just talking about that earlier. Happy was here too, River. We were talking about we need another COVID because we all had such great video game times. That's awful. That's awful to talk about. Spectre, thank you.
He's all over the place. 900 feet up to 1,300 feet. What an asshole.
Anyway, thought we would just transition just to change things up. I don't know what to do for the rest of the day. I guess I should finish laundry. I should go to the gym, but I already worked out today. I ran today, but I haven't done any upper body. I'm the opposite of skip leg day. Model painting. You know, I haven't really painted anything in a little while. I should. I don't really have anything, and the problem with painting is like I really want to devote some time to it, and I don't have that much time. Pineapple on pizza is greater than anchovies on pizza. Tom, I appreciate you. I need you to get the fuck out of here, because you're wrong. You're allowed to be wrong, but there's consequences to being wrong. Pineapple on pizza is better than anchovies on pizza. I've heard a lot of stupid things in my time, but this one takes the cake. Anchovies are delicious. I don't understand what the problem is. I don't understand why people don't like anchovies. I'll eat anchovies straight out of the can. They're delicious. They got the little bones. You just crunch the little bones. salty. If I need a nude model to paint, send me a message. Send me a scan of you. I'll 3D print you. But only the parts of you that you want me to paint. Are they the same thing as sardines? No, but you'll find them obviously in the same area of the store. Look, I don't know the difference between an anchovy and a sardine in the sense of, I think sardines are bigger, like the actual fish. I think anchovies are like yay big. I think sardines are a little bit bigger. I think they look kind of the same, but again, you're talking to the guy who only eats their flesh out of a can. Like, I don't know anything about it. I don't like sardines as much. Like, I have no interest in sardines, but anchovies, tell you what, anchovies and those Toll House, is it Toll House or Keebler? It's Toll House, the little round like butter crackers, whatever those are. Dynamite. Just put an anchovy on there. Boom. My 3D printer won't be big enough. Yeah. That's what they all say. Sounds sketchy to me. Sounds sketchy. I gotta fix my 3D printer. I gotta replace the FEP. It just broke, or it was about to break. I could feel like this little nick in it, and I was like, man, I hope that's not a hole. So I drained it out. It's not a hole yet, but it definitely will become one. So I got to replace it. And I thought I had replacement ones, but I apparently bought the wrong size because they were too small. So they'll actually be here today, but like I said, I'm leaving tomorrow. My son has gotten into 40K against my better, against my advice. So he's always asking me to print these vehicles and stuff, which is totally not stealing. They're only similar, but they're not the exact thing, I think. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm printing these giant fucking Eldar tanks or whatever they're called now. Are they called Eldar still? I don't even know. But yeah. Some jets. Also, he can play in a campaign and it's smoked. They have some big summer campaign that goes on every year here. I haven't played Trench Crusade in a while. I need to play again. It's a very enjoyable game. It's simple. That's what I like about it. Simple. And I like the motif. Anyway. All right. Well, I think that's enough monologuing. I've got to send an email to River. Remind him to text me. Yeah, see, as soon as I touched that mic, I could hear it. Something. Man. I'm hoping it's just this plug. Or this cable. It's gotta be, right? Maybe it's the Focusrite. Anyway, I don't know. I'm gonna do some testing. I appreciate you guys hanging out and indulging me for my chatter. I was lonely. I needed a friend, and you were that friend, and I thank you. But now it's time, friend, for you to leave, and for me to leave, and finish my laundry. So, thanks for hanging out. We'll see you guys. I don't know. Who knows when? Later. Much later, because I gotta go to work. And who knows? Maybe I'll be in a town near you. We'll see you later.